Hi, everybody. So today is the fifth of my five podcast interviews with incredible ladies entrepreneurs who started from zero and developed their business and successfully running their business today. So today's guest is Wendy. And Wendy is a multipreneur and the founder of Go DigiCard. Wendy, it's my pleasure to have you here today. Hi.
I am delighted to be here with you, Angela. Absolutely thrilled. I've been looking forward to it all week.
Cool. Right. Me and Wendy met up through LinkedIn. Although we're based in the same country, we're not too far from each other, but we are in each other's networks or on kind of on outskirts of networks. And that's how we met up. And I heard of Wendy from years ago, and I was always curious about her business, and I was always curious about how did she take an idea which is at the time was very, very fresh idea, and she ran away with it. And that's how we basically met up, and my curiosity is still very valid. Wendy, could you tell me, please, what was it like for you? How many years ago did you start Go DigiCard?
Thanks, Angela. So, 2017 was when Go DigiCard came about. And actually, I've had several businesses, and I was trying to find out as an entrepreneur where my passion was, I suppose. I knew I wanted my own business. So Go DigiCard came about from I was attending events, and I received business cards. Like maybe I'd go home with maybe 10 business cards, but it took a lot of time putting them into whether it was an Excel sheet or into my phone, or just to make sure I followed up with the people that I wanted to follow up with. And then also something that really kind of hit home with me was that there was a couple of times where I'd be the last person at events because I love to talk. And there were a lot of people's business cards were like left on tables or on the floor even. And it just was like, oh my God, because I remember my very first business and getting my own business card made and looking at it and being so proud of it.
Proud.
And I know there is a cultural thing even in China. When someone gives you their business card, you're supposed to look at the back and the front, and there's a whole kind of nearly like a ritual that you're supposed to do because it's an honor that someone is giving you their business card.
Yeah.
So I found this seeing people's business cards on the floor, and I think mine might have been in there amongst one of them, and the thoughts that someone took my card and didn't do anything with it. So I thought there has to be a better way for us to get our information, I suppose, to the people that need us as a service or as a product provider or whatever that might be. So that's how Go DigiCard came about. The software was designed, and yeah, so now we've since then, it was at the time we started off where it's an online solution. So we're not an app. So every person has their own individual link. And then so there were lots, I suppose, challenges at the start where we were looking at design, we were looking at the integration with iPhone and Android and all those things. So yeah, it really kind of just evolved from my passion, which is connecting people and connecting businesses so that they can either learn from each other, do business together, solve problems, whatever that might be, because it's not always about selling to people.
Yeah.
That's really, it's kind of a tool that you use that I use now, so I can share all my contacts' business cards for them when they're not with me. Do you know what I mean? So I have them on my phone now because they shared them with me.
Well, I love how easy you make it sound. You make it sound as if, oh, well, I had this great idea and then we just created software and I ran away with it and everything is hunky-dory. When you start something completely new, when you start something completely that's out of people's reach, out of people's understanding, did you have any doubts about it? Did you have any like, oh, will I succeed or will I fail? And if I fail, what will I do? And if I succeed, what will I do?
I suppose because this was my seventh business at the time. I had
Wow.
been, yeah. So I never look at failure. It's always growth, I'm always learning. And I suppose, yeah, I mean, you start something new, you go with it. The first couple of businesses that didn't work out, yeah, it hit hard. It definitely hit hard. And it was like, what do people think? And, it didn't work out. But now, not at all. Like, you take the risks, you take the opportunities that are in front of you. And they say actually that in general, entrepreneurs have lots of different businesses throughout their entrepreneurial journey. So when Go Digicard came about, actually, it's the one business that I've now got more businesses, but this one, it stays with me all the time because
Stuck with you.
it's stuck with me because it's what I love. It really is, and it's just it's my way of connecting people. Like I said, it's always been. It's the first thing I think of when people come to me at events. They talk about a problem. I want to be able to solve it. I want to have somebody in my little black book, but to be able to share their information instantly, and that's really what it was about for me. So there was never really a doubt. I just wanted to do it. But I suppose the one thing that did worry me was the technology piece, in that people weren't ready. And that was a struggle from 2017. Really, actually, COVID helped my business from that point of view, because people could start to get their heads around QR codes. And that's one of the
Yes.
ways you can share your digicard. So that assisted us. And then also the NFC card. So people start to tap more than use cash. And that we have an NFC card for your business card that you can tap on someone's phone and share your business card details that way. So the business has evolved, and it's slowly taken off, but nearly, I suppose, like any business, you have to learn along the way, and it grows as you go along. So yeah,
And it takes time to develop it as well, isn't it?
yes,
So you
definitely.
can't really lose hope, and you can't lose, like, if you started something and it's not working. So many people drop it just that little millisecond before there was a switch, before there was a shift. Yeah.
Yeah, and it
So
is.
if for you, I see how many businesses you have. So I feel that you have different mentality, you have different mindset to some people who would just it's the first one. First cut is the deepest, first step is the hardest. When you take that first step into the unknown and say, okay, oh, how am I going to survive without income? Or how am I going to develop this business? Oh, I don't see any future, so I better not to start. So if you were to define 3 words, or rather maybe 3 short sentences, for people who are on the bench or who are thinking about, okay, maybe even in their corporate business, in their corporate careers, if they want to shift for the role that seems to be out of reach, or for people who are entrepreneurs and they just afraid to make that step forward, or afraid to make switch from corporate to entrepreneurship, what 3 things would you share with them?
I suppose there's a couple of things there. I would say, if I was starting a business in today's climate, from my own learnings, I would say value your time, because a lot of people don't do that. And that could be selling a product, and that could also be selling a service. I would definitely say look at your time and value that. I would say look at prioritizing what you're doing, and make your lists, and look at what planning your day out. What else would I say? Yeah, look, I mean, it's hard to know from what works for some people and what doesn't. If you're in a corporate business and you're thinking you're making that move to entrepreneurship, I would say do it slowly. Do it from in the evenings or at the weekends, and start your business up. I would say get into as many networks as you possibly can, because I found with my businesses, some networks suited different industries. And there's all sorts of different networks you can join. So I'm even shocked to today, the community that I have built. I never would have thought it 5, 10, 15 years ago that I would have such an amazing community around me. And that's the support you need as an entrepreneur.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah,
I
you
spoke
definitely.
to you're the fifth person I'm talking to, and it's amazing how much I've learned even from this interview, simply because every woman has something else to put new to put in the pot. But every one of women who I spoke to have this attitude that you just have to do it. That's the first and foremost. You
Yeah,
just have to get it out of your system. You know, young kids, when they leave school, and some of them are just hungry for travel, and they say you
yeah,
have to get it out of your system, go travel, learn, do whatever it takes, and then you come back, you know you've done it and you don't have any
yeah.
regrets. So when it comes to business starting or business ideas or career shifts and movements, we just have to do it, because the time will
Yeah.
come when you will still be sitting on the bench and you kind of get yourself into the frequency of waiting. And in that
Oh,
frequency, nothing happens.
yeah.
Nothing happens. It's like a bog land. It's a little bit kind of squishy. It's a little bit, oh, will I, won't I? And we just kind of get stuck in it. And it's amazing. So your kind of priorities and your three golden nuggets are: prioritize, value your
Mm.
time, and build your network, which is a
Build your network
support
for sure.
and money. This network can potentially, whether they don't buy or don't do buy or do not buy from you, they can pass on your information. They are just people like you who will share and who will spread the word and who will simply be happy to help, isn't it?
It's yeah, absolutely. And as definitely the Irish like to help each other, and we like to shout from the rooftops of our friends and
Yeah.
family. And you know that if you're at a birthday party, a kid's birthday party, or you're at in the pub or whatever it is, and you're talking about something that you need or a problem, it's just to be able to say there and then, instead of forgetting about it. You want to be able to say, there's their details, connect with them straight away, and get the solution. So I get a real buzz out of being able to say, there you go. And because I think when you, like, we're all extremely busy people. And I think when you go home then, or you go back to the office, sometimes you can forget. So it's about taking that instant opportunity to connect other businesses with each other. And
Yeah.
that's, I suppose, what I love. And
Yeah. And I see in your product here, which I'm not a client of yours yet, so I haven't signed up for GoDigiCard yet. And I just thought it's such a brilliant idea, simply because we're all about sustainability and environment at the moment. And I do, every time I send an order to print those cards and they come in a physical form and shape, you have to be aware that this will be dumped by somebody at the end of the day. And will somebody keep it? Will they lose it? Will they remember it? So I started putting my QR code on the back of the card as a sticker. Another cost on the top of the cost. That's it. I swear that's what happened to me.
oh my
So
goodness.
I do find that this is a brilliant, brilliant idea. And
Yeah.
okay, so the last question for anybody who listens, whether you in corporate business or in entrepreneurship or in between. So
Mhm.
what does it take to build a successful business?
I suppose it's like most businesses are about solving a problem, and I think that once you have uh, come up with a solution for the problem, well then go for it, take that opportunity, run with it, and there's absolutely no reason why it should fail. If you're solving a problem and you're giving people that opportunity to sorry, I lost my train of thought, Angela. um
Yeah,
yeah,
solving a
it's just
problem.
about,
That's
yeah,
exactly.
and focusing on a customer's needs. I think that's really important, is solving the problem, focus on the customer's needs, and then concentrate on delivering exceptional value, because
Exceptional value,
it's
yes.
all about value now. That's what your customers are looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what I would say to people. If you're looking at starting a business, look for what the problem is, look at the customer service you're about to provide, and make sure you're delivering exceptional value.
Yeah, same I would say to people who are in corporate business, in corporate career, and they shifting, they're moving, and they maybe at age of 45 plus or whatever, they still face, we all do that. So if you want a new position, more challenging, better, bigger, higher, whatever it may be, you go for the interview, and on that interview, first and foremost thing you provide, you tell them what value do you give to this company, what will they achieve with you on board. Same goes for the entrepreneurs. What value do I deliver to my clients, customers, whatever else. But the one bit that you said that actually strikes the chord with me very much, problem solving. If you know how to solve one problem from neuroplasticity point of view, from a coaching point of view, if you know how to tie your laces, you can solve anything. Your shoelaces, right? Start from childhood, whatever. It's just a matter of flicking your brain into that frequency that I actually know how. And if you do stumble across a couple of obstacles, challenges, something else, do not shy away. Go find your coach, find your mentor, find your trustee, whatever else, like find somebody in your network who is just one step ahead of you. Because it's so important that just you talk to people. Like it's really about value that you will receive from this conversation, and then furthermore value you will provide to your clients.
Absolutely. I love all of that, Angela. That's exactly it in a nutshell. We're all here to help and support each other. And, you know, I always say, get your listening ears on. You'll learn more that way. Join as many networks as you can, create that community around you that even when we talk about problems, even though I may not be able to help, I might know somebody that can help you.
You'll guide. Exactly. Yes. Wendy, it was my huge pleasure chatting to you today. And I'm sure, I'm convinced that our paths will cross many times again. And I hope people who listened today got immense value from this conversation. Chat soon.